Today, we're diving into a really powerful question. What if life isn't supposed to feel like such a constant struggle? We're going to unpack a whole new set of rules for living a life that feels less like a battle and a lot more like a natural flow.
I mean, seriously, just think about that for a second. What if that constant feeling of being exhausted, of being overwhelmed? What if that's not our default setting? What if the daily grind isn't actually a requirement for a good life? That's the core question we're tackling.
And here's the big idea we're exploring. The problem isn't you. It's not a flaw in your character. It's that you're just following a set of invisible, unwritten rules that we all kind of absorb growing up. Rules that make everything feel so much heavier than it needs to be.
Okay, so let's get into our first section. Are you on hard mode? We're going to start by uncovering these invisible rules that are probably draining your energy and set the stage for a completely different way of doing things.
So let's get this straight right from the start. This is not about you being lazy or broken or somehow behind in life. No way. You're just playing the game with a really bad rule book. But the amazing news, you can write a new one.
All right, on to section 2, rules for your mind. This is all about the internal shift, right? The changes in how you think that can totally transform how you experience your day-to-day world.
Whoa, that's a bold way to start, isn't it? Motivation is a scam. But think about it. The source calls motivation emotional caffeine. It gives you that temporary buzz, that spike of energy. But what always happens next? You crash. Relying on it is just a recipe for inconsistency.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. Hard mode is you sitting around waiting to feel like doing something. But the effortless mode, that's about building systems, simple routines that work whether you feel like it or not. The big secret here is that the feeling of motivation doesn't come before the action, it comes after.
Oh, this is such a huge shift in perspective. You know, in hard mode, when you have a bad day, it feels like this terrible prophecy, right? Like, see, I knew I'd feel. But in the effortless mindset, a bad day is just bad weather. It's temporary. It'll pass. It has absolutely no bearing on what you're going to do tomorrow. You just pick right back up.
This might be one of the most powerful and kind of dangerous truths in this whole thing. We're all taught to aim for perfection, but that usually leads to, well, doing nothing at all. The effortless approach is just to aim for done. Seriously, a 5-minute workout is infinitely better than a 0-minute workout. The habit that actually sticks is the one that's almost embarrassingly easy to start.
Okay, section 3 is rules for your world. So we've worked on the internal mindset. Now let's look at what's around you, because your environment is incredibly powerful. And here's the deal. If you don't intentionally design it, it's going to design you.
The key tool we're going to use here is friction. This isn't about willpower. We all know that runs out. This is about being a smart architect of your own space. You just strategically add tiny little obstacles to make bad habits harder, and you remove those obstacles to make good habits the easiest possible choice. And here are some perfect, super practical examples. Charging your phone all the way across the room so you can't just scroll in bed. Hiding the junk food on a shelf you need a stool for. The idea is so simple. Make your distractions inconvenient and make your goals totally unavoidable.
Every single day, we face hundreds of little decisions that just drain our mental batteries. The person on hard mode wakes up and starts negotiating with themselves. Should I go to the gym? Should I start that project? The effortless person? They already decided. The decision was made yesterday when they set the routine. When the decisions disappear, that's when momentum appears.
So, let's move on to our next section, rules for your future. We've talked about the mind and the environment. Now let's zoom out and talk about the long game, about building a future self that naturally pulls you in the direction you want to go.
This difference is so important. A goal is a target. Once you hit it, it's over. An identity is about who you are becoming. So instead of chasing an outcome, you focus on becoming the kind of person who achieves those outcomes naturally. See, goals expire. An identity just keeps growing and compounding over time.
You can use simple statements like these to start building that identity. If you tell yourself, I'm someone who shows up, then the act of showing up isn't a debate anymore. It's just what you do. The action becomes effortless because it's just part of who you believe you are.
This chart really captures the engine behind all of this. We love to glorify intensity, right? Those heroic all-night cram sessions. But look at the total area. It's that patient, steady, kind of boring drumbeat of consistency that creates massive results over time. If you just keep showing up, time will do the heavy lifting for you.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's boil this all down. What's the one central secret, the one single truth that holds all of these rules together?
And there it is. Let that sink in. Effortless does not mean lazy. It means you stop wasting all your energy fighting against yourself and your own environment. It's about smart, intelligent design, not a lack of effort. It's just about making the right things the easy things.
So if you take one thing away, let it be this. Stop trying to just muscle through everything with more willpower. It's a resource that runs out. Instead, focus on building a better system, a better environment, a better set of rules to live by. Because when you change the rules, you change the entire game.
And that brings us to the end. So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. What's one invisible rule, one little piece of that old hard mode rulebook that you are going to consciously choose to break starting tomorrow?